Imagine for a second that you're living in the year 1518. Life is already pretty terrible. You've got the Black Death looming in recent memory. The local lords are taxing your last loaf of bread. And your healthcare consists of a guy in a bird mask sticking leeches on your eyeballs. But then, something even weirder happens. You're walking through the streets of Strasbourg and you see a woman. Her name is Frau Troffea, and Frau Troffea is vibing. She's not just tapping her toes, she's dancing like her life depends on it. There's no music, there's no party. The sun goes down. Frau Troffea doesn't stop. She doesn't eat, she doesn't sleep. Her feet are bleeding through her shoes. This lasted for 6 days. Within a week, 34 more people had joined her. By the end of the month, there were 400 people dancing in the streets of Strasbourg. This wasn't a flash mob. This was a biological disaster. People were collapsing from strokes. Their hearts were literally exploding from the exertion. Their feet were worn down to the bone. And the worst part? They couldn't stop. They were screaming for help while their bodies kept moving. The local physicians concluded this wasn't a curse. No, they decided it was a case of hot blood. Their official medical advice for people dying of exhaustion from dancing was to keep dancing. The authorities built a massive wooden stage. They hired professional musicians and strong men to keep the dancers upright. Imagine being so tired you're literally dying, and a guy grabs you by the armpits and says, "Don't stop now, Hans." When the dance till you drop cure failed, they turned to religion. They decided it was a curse from Saint Vitus, a saint who could cast a dancing curse on those who angered him. They took the survivors, threw them into wagons, hauled them off to a mountain shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus. There, they were given red shoes and led in circles around a statue of the saint, and oddly enough, it worked. For centuries, scientists searched for an explanation. Theory 1, ergotism. Ergot is a mold that grows on rye, the main ingredient in medieval bread. It contains chemicals similar to LSD. If you eat enough of it, you'll hallucinate and lose your mind. The problem? Ergotism makes it very hard to walk, let alone dance for 6 days straight. So that theory? Probably not. The more likely explanation is mass psychogenic illness, what we used to call mass hysteria. Between 1516 and 1517, Strasbourg had experienced horrific crop failures, famine, and a massive outbreak of syphilis. People were living in a state of constant paralyzing terror. Historians believe Frau Troffea had a psychological break. And because the community believed in the curse of Saint Vitus, their brains simply downloaded the symptoms. You see your neighbor dancing and screaming, you're already starving and terrified, and your brain goes, "Oh, I guess this is what we're doing now," and flips the switch. The dancing plague of 1518 is a terrifying reminder. The human mind is just as dangerous as any virus. We can literally trick ourselves into dying if the circumstances are miserable enough. So the next time the DJ plays the cha-cha slide, just remember, Frau Troffea didn't have a choice. You do. Stay safe. And for the love of Saint Vitus, stop dancing if your feet start to bleed. And before you laugh too hard at medieval superstition, look at your phone. Look at TikTok challenges. Look at how a rumor, a trend, or a panic spreads faster than fire in a haystack. We like to think we're smarter now. But the same brain that downloaded the dancing plague in 1518 is still inside your skull. The only difference, now we call it going viral.